All right, we're going to start here by doing figure 877. The first thing to do on 877 is to notice that the dimensions are in millimeters. Our title block is definitely a standard English title block. So the first thing we have to do is we have to scale our title block. So I'm going to go SC for scale, select my title block, and if you remember, there's 25.4 millimeters in an inch. So we're going to scale our title block at 25. So scale, selected, base point, and 25, and there our title block is 25 times larger. All right, so now let's just start drawing this thing. Looking at it, I guess I'd probably start just drawing the top view of it, drawing that rectangular shape. So I'm going to start by turning on my isometric snap and turning on my ortho and coming in here, getting on my top view and start drawing this out. It says it's 100 that direction, 82 in that direction, back 100, back over to there. I'll move this a little bit more centered up, and there's kind of my start. From there, I probably would, I like working on one plane at a time, so I'd probably start doing my little rounds on these corners. It does tell me all fillets of a radius of 6 are 6, so I'm going to come in here and do my little layout lines. I'm going to come over 6, and a little layout line out of that corner. I'm going to come to there, come over 6 to there, and just repeat that on all those corners. 6 over and back, 6 forward and back, so on and so forth. I am doing this pretty quickly, but I know you guys can handle getting that in there. 6 over in that direction and back there with a little center line. From there, 6 and back. Now I'm ready for my ellipse. I'm going to go ellipse, put it right there. Oops, I forgot my isocircle option. EL for ellipse, I for isocircle, and put a nice 6 radius isocircle there. I'm going to go ahead and just copy it from that center point to that intersection, to that, and to that. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get rid of my layout lines I put in there by erasing those out. And then doing a little bit of trim. I'll actually erase out my center lines also. And sorry if I'm not talking very loud there. Erase out my center lines also. I clicked the wrong button there. And trim. Trim out those. Trim out my outside corners. And there I have that top surface done nicely. I think, again, I'm going to stay on this top surface. So for there, let me see what it tells me. Uh-oh, and I just made a mistake. It looks like the small radiuses were 6. The large radiuses, that was supposed to be a radius of 12. And I just noticed that. I'm actually going to pause the video and just correct that and make it 12. All right, so I fixed that, changed those to a radius of 12, coming in a unit of 12, and put my center lines in and filleting those and trimming it all off. So next, I'm going to stay on this top surface once again. It tells me it's a 6 typical thickness, TYP, so that means this little part is 6 units thick. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to go right to there, I'm going to come over 6. And remember on that, you can't go offset 6. If you try to offset 6, you're not going to offset an isometric, and it won't work. So again, I'm just going to come there with a little layout line 6, put my line across, and pull those lines on out. Back to there, 6 over, bring it on straight across, and one more right to there, 6 over, across, and pull that one over. So there I got that looking nice. I'm going to go ahead and trim up my corners. Getting those in there. And that looks nice. Get rid of a few of these extra pieces also. Now next, what I'm going to do is these inside corners now here are a fillet of 6. So those I'm going to come in my 6 units and back my 6, over my 6, and back over like so. and then put my ellipse and my ISO circle right there with a radius of 6. With that, I'm going to go ahead and get my other ones laid out and put into place, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, and you'll just see that done. Okay, so I've got those on all the corners now. I went ahead and did that without you. Now I'm going to go trim, enter, and trim off the 4 big portions of the ellipse, and then trim off my corners next. So there, got that all trimmed. That's looking beautiful. Now next, I'm going to stay on this top surface, and I'm going to put a line from the middle point there to the middle point there, midpoint there to midpoint there. And now I'm going to start with my large ellipse and my ISO circles that go right out there. The one is a diameter of 22 ream. That's the small hole. My next one is right there, same point, and it's a diameter of 38 for that outside portion. So that's where that portion of it goes. Now here's where we get to something a little bit different. So our little bit different thing that we're going to get to is, notice in the book there's a cutout section. This corner of it's all cut out. So we start right there on that top surface, and then we're going to trim out all this stuff that's not seen. So we're going to trim out all this corner, all of that. I'm going to take out and erase that portion of it. And now I'm going to do my next part. My next part is, I can pick which face I want to work on. I'm going to pick, I guess, this front face here, and I'm just going to start working on it next. So for that corner, I'm going to come straight down. Let's see my height of it. It says my height of it is 26, so I'm going to come down 26, and I'm going to go back in this direction. I'm just going to go back there a ways, something kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and then go and copy this straight down the same 26, and just trim that off. And that's got that. I'm going to put my line from quadrant to quadrant right there. And that's got that portion of it done. Now I did notice a mistake I made just as I looked at the drawing again, and we'll fix that here in a second. Now another way I could have done that is, I could just come over here and I could go copy, and copy down that line and that ellipse, the two of them, and copy them straight down the 26. And now just go ahead and connect my ends to there. And again, I've got to go to the quadrant. There, I got the quadrant. To not the midpoint, but the quadrant. And trim that off. So there, that looks really good. Now the part that I noticed I did wrong is it says this middle portion of it's 38 thick, and I did it 26. So there we have to do the math. The difference between 26 and 38 looks like I've got, what, 4 and 8. Looks like it's 12. So this portion of it, actually I have 12 units too low. I need to go up 12 units with it. So I'm going to go move, select those two, and move it straight up 12 units. And that's got that in the place where it should go. That does look a little bit weird, but that is what that's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and go trim, cut off those two little portions there, and erase that. And now I'm going to continue with the rest of this. So here, I'm just going to bring out a line there. We've already cut that off correctly. And now I've got to get this other little part that's in here. It looks really confusing and really hard, but it's really not too bad. Everything just will start to come together for you. So for example, on this one, from that corner, I'm going to go back at this angle. So I'm going to hit my F5 and come back at that angle. Now the distance that goes back is where it intersects with a line that comes from this point. So we're going to go from there and straight down. And now I'm just going to trim off those two chunks of line. And that's got that portion of it done. Very similar over here. I'm going to take a line off this corner. Again, back at this angle. So I have to hit my F5 to there. And then this one I'm going to go straight down. So again, I have to hit my F5 once again, down to there. And trim off that. So once again, that's got that portion of it done. Here, I'm going to go ahead and just put a layout line straight down off of this corner. And I'm going to go straight down off of this corner. And now before it told me the typical thickness of this was 6. So this bottom is 6 units thick. So to figure out where my line goes here, I'm going to go line to that corner. Remember, I can't use offset. I'm going to go up 6. And just across at this angle right there. Now here I'm going to erase that little chunk of line out there and trim out these pieces. And that's got that trimmed out. And correct for the partial part. And I am going to show you one little thing we're going to do a little bit different on this drawing. So again, the same thing. We're going to come straight down there, come straight down there, and do a line here. I'm going to go up my 6 units. And I want to come across at this angle, so I'm going to hit my F5, come across to there, and trim out this stuff. Okay. Now, the thing that I want you to do a little bit differently, they have it kind of shown almost 2 ways, but I want you to make this corner a square corner. I think it just makes the drawing look a little bit better, so we're going to do that. So here, with leaving this a square corner, we're just going to go copy. I'm going to copy this ellipse from that corner straight down to that corner. Now, the portions that are still seen there, we're going to get here in just a second, but we're going to draw a line from this quadrant to that quadrant, from that quadrant to that quadrant. And now all this ellipse that's back there gets just trimmed off. So we're going to go trim off that chunk and that chunk, and erase out that piece. And there that is, looking beautiful. Again, the things that we're going to have left here is, I'm going to just fillet this corner. So to fillet this corner, we're going to come in here. Again, that's that fillet of 6. So we're going to come in this corner, go over 6. Whoops, I did not get a line in there. Over 6 and straight up. From there, up 6 and straight over. That's my corner of it. I'm going to go ahead and do my ellipse, my iso circle, and make that the 6 and trim this out. So once again, just like before, I'm going to erase out those lines first and trim out that corner there, and that's beautiful for that. Like I say, I think it looks better having this as square because you show that nice line there. I'm going to do the exact same steps over here, so I'm going to get on my right plane. I'm going to go line over 6, up, from there up 6 and over. I'm going to go my iso circle and do a radius of 6. Once again, erase out my extra chunks and trim. And there we go. There's that drawing. One thing they do there in the book is they put the little corners here as they go down. Oh, that's kind of, I don't know. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. If you want to, you can do those just to see what you think, see if that helps kind of visually. Being able to see that back corner there. Obviously, this corner over here, we don't have it in that position. It's going to be a little bit hard to get it into that position. Goodness. Trying to actually visualize here a little bit. You could come off of this corner, come back, and off of where that corner would be, and down, and make the fillet, and then copy it along. That's kind of up to you. If you want to see that real quick, I can do that real quick. I got a tiny bit of video time left here. So I'd go there, and to there. I'd go from there straight down and over. Connect those 2 points. Back and down. That's got that back corner filled. Now we're going to do a fillet there. Remember to do that. We're going to come here, going to go over 6 and up. From there, up 6 and over. Do my ellipse, my iso circle, with a radius of 6. So then we trim this all off. And here, you would just erase out your layouts. And all of this is actually going to be layout, so we just kind of erase it all. So that's your little corner there. Again, we can get rid of all this extra layout we just did for that. And you'd go copy. And you'd copy this back at that angle, so we're going to hit our F5. And we can just put this into position here wherever you want it. Now here, it'd be best to pick a base point up here where you're not going to interfere. So you could just start, oh, I moved it, I did not copy. And you could just copy it down that line. Something like that. like I say, I don't